The FBI has issued a warning over potential armed violence this week as extensive chatter about nationwide protests is detected online. Police are preparing for pro-Trump marches in all 50 states in the lead up to Joe Biden's inauguration. Sally Lockwood has more from Washington, D.C.
What we're seeing at the moment in Washington, D.C. is extraordinary. The area that we're standing in is being called by the Secret Service the Green Zone, which is essentially free of any vehicles that aren't authorised to be here, and even pedestrians are regularly checked by law enforcement. And it's being compared to a fortified area of Iraq's capital, Baghdad, which has been known as the Green Zone for many years. And then beyond that, behind me is what's known as the Red Zone, which is essentially completely closed off now to members of the public. Only law enforcement and officials are allowed in, and that essentially is completely surrounded by a very high, unscalable fence, and the perimeter is being patrolled by the National Guard. Now, this stretches from the US Capitol behind me, of course, the scene of that attack 10 days ago, all the way down to the White House. Normally, this is an area which is open to the public. People use it for long walks. And of course, during the inauguration, it is usually packed with hundreds of thousands of people. Of course, that won't be happening. Here in Washington, D.C., there are now 25,000 members of the National Guard mobilized to ensure this peaceful transition of power. It's quite extraordinary to see, but there's members of the military on almost every street corner in central D.C. with roadblocks and vehicle checks. It's hard to believe what we're seeing, but on top of that, they've closed 4 major bridges into the DC area. 13 metro stations have also been closed, and other US state capitals have been put on high alert too, especially in those crucial swing states that won Joe Biden the election. So they're on high alert too for any potential unrest. Even the US Postal Service has removed post boxes in some of these areas because of the threat of IEDs and explosives. There is a suggestion that there could be more protests and unrest tomorrow, as well as on Inauguration Day. But the problem is that Parler, one of the social media sites popular with Donald Trump's base, has been closed since that attack 10 days ago. And so intelligence services are struggling to find concrete intelligence to get a feel for what may happen tomorrow. But certainly the head of the FBI has said there's a lot of online chatter surrounding tomorrow's date and any further potential protests and unrest. But certainly here in Washington, D.C., there's a heavy military and police presence now. It's hard to see how anyone would get away with anything, but certainly IEDs and explosives are a big concern.